Hi, Toast. You're so talkative today. Yeah.
Hi friends, welcome to my channel and welcome if you are new. My name is Lacey and I'm super happy to have you with me. If you've been with me for a while, hey, what's up? How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day, week, month. In today's video, I wanted to share with you guys some updates. I am sitting inside my brand new mobile home. You will hear some fire alarms beeping periodically. So we're not supposed to be in here moving in and touching things yet, and I don't want to void any warranties, so I can't go pull the tabs and the fire alarms just yet. But bear with me because it is super windy outside, and I wanted to be in here where it's pretty and I can dream while I sit. Okay, so let's start with some updates. So I know a lot of you guys have been following my channel, and I know a lot of you guys are also new, but for those of you who've been with me for a while and you have been following some of the ups and downs of this year, I do want to give you a happy update. So my dad had a scan. He has finished his cancer treatment. So he had stage 4, I think, or stage 3. Either way, late stage cancer, and he was diagnosed in April. So he has just completed treatment. He has finished his radiation and his chemo infusions and now his chemo pills. And so he went in for a scan and they only see a scar in the area where there was cancer. So that is a huge deal. We're very optimistic for the future, and we are super excited to be sharing that for those of you who have, messaged me and been saying that you were praying and thinking about him. And, I just want to say, like, I'm beyond grateful. And it was really sweet of you guys to not know a person and yet still, connect and unify in that type of way, because it's really beautiful to be in a place where you actually need prayer and people thinking about you. And then to actually receive it is a huge deal. So I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you all. And you guys are amazing. And then for my other update, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm doing super well. I know I've had several comments asking me about baby. We are 19 weeks along and we are doing super well. I will be getting a anatomy scan in 2 weeks, so like the week after next, I guess, like 1.5 weeks or so, right before Thanksgiving. So we'll get to see how everything's progressing and see if there's anything that we need to do or, adjust. So super excited. I have not been feeling any movement yet. They had a little bit of a hard time getting a heartbeat. They did get it and it was strong and perfect, but they said if you have an anterior placenta on the outside, so basically like if your placenta is on the front side of your uterus, that sometimes it's harder to hear with the Doppler. And then also it can be harder to feel movement, which I could have started feeling movements, I think, around the 16-week mark. And then usually people will start for sure feeling in the 20-week mark. So I'm looking forward to that, if that's possible. And then, but that anterior placenta could be possibly, if that's what's going on, the reason why I wouldn't be feeling some of those motions. But everything is well. I am starting to get a little out of breath. As a lot of you also know, I am an ex-bariatric patient. I lost 150 pounds over a year span last year. And that is kind of going well. I have a couple of things where I have to be really careful. I have to make sure I take my vitamins. I'm a low iron, so I take an extra iron supplement because of that. And one of the things that they are concerned about, not for me specifically, but for patients of bariatric surgery, is that you would have like a low birth rate, but I've been able to get in all of the calories I need. I've gained 11 pounds, which is a little bit of a mind trip for somebody who lost 150 pounds to gain back 11 pounds, but it's not too bad, and I'm more than happy to make sure baby is growing. I will say that in one of my next videos, we will be doing a little bit of a sneak peek on gender and on our name that we've decided on. So we're getting really excited. There'll be some little Easter eggs every now and then. So if you guys want to guess down in the comments, you can, what you think it is and what you think the name is. We are country people, if that helps you. But yes, we're both very excited, and my husband and I should say, we're very excited. Really, everybody in my family is super excited. All my friends are excited. We have several baby showers planned. Well, a couple planned, I should say, and some more that have been offered, but I may combine some stuff so that it's not too much for anybody. But yeah, super exciting. It's great to see people just really, again, come out and just like band together and lift you up and just be excited for you. My husband and I waited 13 years for this. So it's been a long journey. And again, it's been a year of ups and downs, and this was one of the highlights. So very exciting times. And then I do have a actual house update. So we got our septic tank in. Our county regulations and the way things work here was they were giving us just a little bit of trouble because we live on shared property. So my husband purchased this property with my dad and my brother. So they all split it equally, and we decided to each put a house out here. My brother is working on, still getting his life situated out. He's young. I'm much older than my brother. And then my husband and I, of course, we built our tiny house. And that was actually a shed to begin with. So if you haven't seen that, you can go back a few videos and watch that. If you're interested in tiny house living, it's definitely a must watch. And then my dad built a barn dominium out here for him and my mom. So exciting times. That was so fun. We've been out here for almost 3 years now, which seems like time has flown by. It feels like it was just yesterday. But when we did all of that, so each person, because we live so far apart, each person kind of needs to have their own whole setup. So we have our own utilities, our own, we do not have our own well, so that was one thing we were able to obviously share, so thank goodness, right? But we have to put in our own driveways, and we have to have our own addresses and our own septic tanks. And because we didn't have our own address, because we're living on the same property, I guess the county regulations for the emergency department, they wanted us to have our own house number. And we didn't really want to do that because we don't want to mess anything up on our taxes, which is what we were under the impression was going to happen with that. Now, obviously, tax time has not rolled around for us to see just yet, if that will, but they swore up and down that that's not what was going to happen. And then they had to come and check how my dad put his septic tank in order for them to put out ours. Now, my dad didn't put his in himself. He had a company come out and they did it properly. We have a company coming out doing it properly. My husband and my dad both know how to do it, but it's much easier to get it done if you have a company come out to do it. I know it's probably a little more expensive as well. I haven't looked into it enough, so I'm not an expert on that. But I will say that I wouldn't do it myself personally. But I know people who have, and more power to you. So the septic was a big thing, and it was a big holdup. Our house has been on our property probably over a month now. I need to go look. I'm not even sure what day it is right now. But it's definitely been here a while, and we have not been able to get in because we have to have it fully functional before we can come in here at all. And in fact, That's what this stuff is right here. It's like the finish out. It's like a screen door and lots of trim, paint, screws, all kinds of stuff. Like they basically put it on a tarp and they drop it in your house so that they can use it when they come in to finish the inside of the house out. The outside is completely put together. But with the septic in, that has made a huge difference. We are feeling really like the ball is finally starting to roll. We were able to call up the house, like the actual people that we bought our house from, and they're going to be sending out the finishing crew. They purchased our AC unit because that also has to be added in. And then they went ahead and let the people know for the skirting. So the skirting is going to be like one of the last things that goes on because they like need to access underneath the house, and we're doing metal skirting, and so it's not going to be like real easy to take on and off. In fact, my husband's going to have to build like kind of a crawl space, like a little door, so he can get under there afterwards. But you know, that's all stuff that you have to think about when you're buying a new mobile home that you do not know. I feel like this whole process has been a crazy learning experience, and I'm really glad that I'm actually documenting some of this. And when I do finally get done and the whole house is done, I'm going to be making a guide video so that if anybody needs to know how to do this and what to expect, like what to expect when you're expecting a house. Because I was like very unaware of what we were getting. We had purchased a mobile home before actually, but it was a fully set up used mobile home on a piece of property. And so the process there was almost like buying a car versus the process here is it's really like having a custom home built almost. So very different processes. And I do think there were some things that I was unaware of and some surprises. And actually a couple of things that really went a lot smoother than I would have thought too. So I'll be sharing that video with you guys in upcoming weeks, so stay tuned. But I'll take you out to see that septic at the end of this video so you can kind of get a feel for if you go to do this, what you will be looking at, because I was really surprised at how it looks. I guess I've only had it already put in the ground, so seeing it come in was interesting. Seeing how big of a space it needed was really crazy because I didn't, the septic tank that we had in the past was not an aerobic system. So it was like a traditional septic tank with no sprayers. This has sprayers because of where we live, the type of dirt. And so it's a lot more involved, but very interesting. I mean, you have to think like, this is how civilization runs now. You know, there's no outhouses, there's no holes in the ground. We got to have a way to make this work. So it's very cool. It's kind of Modern Marvel-y, if you remember that show. I don't know if they still have that, do they? Somebody comment down below if they still make Modern Marvels. That was one of my dad's favorite shows when I was little. But yes, so we have the septic tank in, the ball is rolling. The next steps are going to be, of course, the finish out, and then the AC. We need some steps. We added into our deal some really nice steps. So when you go to a mobile home lot, they'll have these like janky steps that are made out of like fiberglass or some sort of something, I'm not sure, with like this metal handle. And not only are they unattractive, if they worked fine, I'd be like, okay, whatever. They will just disintegrate on you over time, essentially, because they're hollow and because they're easy to move. Anyways, that's what they wanted to give us. But at the previous place that we had first made a deal on this same house, a lot model, it already had these really nice steps that actually kind of matched the porch that we already have. And I said, no, the previous deal came with their steps. So our salesperson had to go over to the other place and kind of sneak around and look and see what their steps were so that he could have some steps ordered for us. So those should be coming soon, and that seems to be the one hinging point. Why I don't know, but I guess because it's going to cost them a little to get that done, but it was part of the deal. So I expect them to hold up their part of the deal because I am going to have to start paying on this. And I can't even live in here, so I want all the things that I've asked for. So that's just something to consider. Just you will be paying for something you cannot live in, which is kind of annoying, but it's also just part of the process. Like I know it takes time to get everything set up. So realistically, and again, I'm trying to be really realistic. By the time this is all done, I think it will be probably after Thanksgiving, maybe closer to like the beginning of December, maybe more mid-December. So I don't know if we'll have, all the Christmas fun that I was hoping for, but we will have the nice new house and everything set up. My storages are my sheds completely full with items because we have pre-purchased a lot of new and some used furniture, and we even took our old coffee tables and we stripped them and we painted them and stained them to make them work for this space again. So we have been very frugal, but we did put everything in our sheds, and so we're like, oh, come on, we're ready to go. I mean, it would take us just a couple of days to get in here and get the house set up probably on our own if we could just get in here. So it's a pain, but it's also it's super exciting to think that really in no time we will be in here. But I can't wait to share that with you guys. I also have, and this is my last update for you guys, a very exciting collaboration. So as, again, a lot of you know, because some of this is reiterated, but it's just like updated, I should say we, I am now unemployed. So I have showed you guys before some of the ways that I make money to support myself and my husband a little bit. My husband definitely takes care of us, but I like to have side money and I like to hustle. I'm not really a person who just wants to coast. I like to contribute as much as possible without being tied down to a 9 to 5. So I do paint parties. Of course, I have my chickens and things like that sometimes I can make money off of that. Well, I can make money off of that, but it's just whether or not I'm trying to do that. We do a lot of raising of our own meat, and I try to garden as best as possible. That's really not my strong suit. But I still love to do it, and it's super fun. I love a spring garden. It's probably one of my favorite times of the year. No, it definitely is. I love the first spring garden. It's beautiful and it's perfect and it's all tiny and growing. And it's really fun because every week you walk out and there's expansion and growth. And then of course I have my cleaning business. So I have a little side hustle where I clean. Now I have stopped though. I took down my paint party page, which is where I was getting a lot of my business from, was Facebook. And I gave a 3 months notice for my cleaning job, and I let them know that I was not going to be continuing on after today. Today was my last day. I turned my keys over to the next person. So I didn't want to leave them in the lurch or anything, but I needed to do that because it's a pretty physical job, and I'm not supposed to be lifting any more than 35 pounds, and just to get the giant bags out of the trash cans and into the dumpsters, I'm sure we are hitting 35, probably more, pounds. And so I knew that was probably not going to work for me. And then the last part of that was that so basically like, I'm not making any more money, which is fine. And like I said, my husband does like totally take care of everything, but I really like to buy my own groceries. Like, I don't know why that's a thing for me. It's important that I am able to buy my own groceries. And you guys know how expensive groceries have gotten. So it's a big chunk of money, and I didn't want to have to be like, well, going back. But guys, I have started to get, because of my YouTube and because of all of you who watch, first of all, definitely because of you guys, but because of this channel, I have been able to get some collaborations. So I'm actually going to make my grocery bill this month, and I'm so excited. But I also wanted to like get you guys excited too, because some of these collaborations, sorry the fly, are really going to be geared towards the holidays, and they're going to help you start to get some of those things knocked off your list. But I'm super excited about that, and you will see that in some upcoming videos. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't want to do too much of a spoiler alert, but yeah, so stay tuned for that. I'm super excited, and I also want to say thank you, because you guys are what makes me be able to transition really easily into this new phase of my life. I'm going from being very capable and independent and not tied down to extremely tied down and not independent at all, which is totally fine. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually really excited about this time of life, but it's so nice to know that there is something in the background that is, first of all, created a beautiful group of people who are, I see you guys commenting back and forth in the comment section, and that's just amazing to me. I'm like, wow, like there's some friendships blossoming from this, which is just, you know, who would have thought that this was going to be possible? And it's just amazing to me. So, all right, I'm not going to get real sappy and cheesy on you, but I will take you out to see that septic tank, and I will give you a couple little shots of that before we leave. But I do want to say that I just appreciate you so much, and I love you, and you're amazing, and I hope you have a great day, week, and month, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.